Hey, it's 9 p.m. in Old Blighty. It's a Saturday night. We're live. It must mean it's another The War Room. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Joined, as always, by my two besties, Jester and Nate.
Oh, you do have friends.
Well, you two, that's it. Really.
Oh,
yeah.
Only virtually.
You're never going to force them together, though.
Because you have to be, all right? I insist. But hope you two gents are well. Jester, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing really good. Been busy week. Just been playing a lot of things. I know a lot of people are probably interested in what's going on because I was doing 16 videos a day.
What's happened? What's happened?
I'm just busy doing other things right now. I'm playing games literally 12, 15 hours a day. But it's just not playing games online. It's just not playing online like I used to. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm very excited at what I'm doing, and it's a new venture. A lot of people don't remember this, but I came from a digital. My YouTube channel was originally all digital stuff. Then I switched over and started doing the board game stuff after that. So now I've kind of cycled back into digital. So
I couldn't do that because my computer would catch fire. So I'm not doing that. All right. So
yeah, that's for sure.
So don't panic. He's just having a different thing going on. So because everybody's used to your 40 odd videos a week. So don't panic. Nate, how you doing, my friend?
Well, there is something. I'm doing well, thank you. There is something to be said for not playing something and it's just you. And you just enjoy the time for yourself as opposed to making it, go online like that. And that's it's good to take time just to rest and relax and have fun by yourself.
It's so interesting you bring that up because I was thinking about that last night in that if I was going to play a board game, I would have to live stream it. I wouldn't just sit down and play it for myself.
That's interesting.
It just never if I'm going to play one, I might as well live stream it.
Is it?
But I've been this week, I've been playing online and doing the digital thing and playing. And then I probably go, well, I'll go ahead and I'll start up a live stream for a little while and do it for a little while. And then I cut the live stream off and I keep playing for a while. So it's interesting that you put it that way because I think it is a lot different. Board games and digital games are a lot different.
Yeah.
It is.
That's interesting.
I always enjoy doing is when I do play a board game that I'll try to find some type of soundtrack or something that matches the theme of the game that I'm playing, and I just try to get myself immersed into it, and that usually works really well. I can't play in total silence; it's too weird for me, at least. But yeah,
that is weird.
That is. See, it went quiet there. That is weird. Yeah, you have to have noise and a row going on in the background or something.
Yes, something.
Neighbors hollering at each other or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
But for me, yes, go ahead.
Paul,
address this.
No, Paul. What it is, of course, this is the old English version. It's the third. Thirth is the old English way of saying what you guys call the third. So, have you not heard of that Genesis track? The third of fourth. So yes. Oh, of course, it's a mistake. I was trying to put up the thumbnail yesterday, and I thought I'd checked it 3 or 4 times. Obviously, I didn't, and I knew one of you guys would pick something up anyway. Bit of fun. So thank you for pointing that out, Paul. Yeah, me. I got the fifth video of Skies Above Britain out. I'm really pleased about that. When I come back,
that deserves a drink because
that's a lock and load. That's a lock and load. Yes. When I come back from the convention, I'm traveling up on Thursday, coming back on Monday. So really looking forward to it. Gareth and who's a subby and it's in the chat most nights, or most Saturdays, and Tweez is they're loading their cars up. I'm going up by train. It's only a couple of hours away, so they're bringing all the games, and we're going to have some great fun. So I think one of my subbies, David, is wanting to play Panzer. I'm really looking forward to it. So
I just have to highlight first before I say, because I started playing something, setting it up today. Meandering Mike's comment about me wanting to listen to music while I'm playing a board game.
I will go through these, yes, in a minute.
It says Nate needs the sounds of Attila looting and pillaging in the background.
Nice.
I'll pick that up in a minute.
Oh, when I'm playing a Roman game. But I'm actually setting up, or have been working on setting up.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to say hi. So carry on, Nate.
Sure.
Okay. Otherwise, we'll get inundated.
I got recently the Campaigns in Europe expansion pack from Decision. And so I'm setting up the France 1940 scenario that comes with it. Because there's currently, well, if you look at the back of the box, including all of the 4 original World at War magazines, there's now, I think it's, 22? Yeah, 22 scenarios in the whole package. So there's a lot of game in here to do basically from 1940, 41, 42, 43, and part of 44 in there. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I do like the series.
That's cool. That's really nice. Everybody's in again. We've got 60 people. It's nice. It's just fantastic. That
where'd all these ruffians come from?
Christoph.
Well,
did we talk about this subject today?
Did
we talk about this subject? I know we talked about.
Well, in a minute. Let me just do somebody. Let's do William, and then we'll come back in a moment. Yeah, the subject, as you noticed by my very well written thumbnail, is that war game series that you haven't tried but would like to. Now, I started making a list, and there's quite a few. So are there any, we'll talk about that when we discuss this, but yeah, are there any game series that you'd like to have a go at but haven't had a go at yet? And as I said in the description, if you do play a war game series game that you absolutely love, tell us about it and try and convince other people that haven't played that to give it a go. So we're inviting the chat to do that. If somebody says, I haven't played TCS, and somebody in chat says, it's my favorite, then tell them why. We'll have a little try and convince people. But now, that's the subject for today.
Now I'm if I'm understanding your criteria correctly, we can still own the game, just not have played it.
Sure. Yeah. Or not
own a game in the series and have not played it yet.
But that would be a war game series, but I haven't played it scenario, wouldn't it? Even though you've got it. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you haven't got it or got it. It doesn't matter, really. I just want to, because there's, start to make a list. There are absolute, there's loads of them. Maybe some you wouldn't think of as series, but we tend to think of them as series. You probably know which ones I'm talking about.
Well, I will let everyone know, because I just heard it, is because I told you, both of you in the green room, that there is a big thunderstorm rolling in. It just started to thunder and lightning. And so if I pop off, it's not because I got mad or what's Tides of Iron came up or something like that. Is that I lost power. So anyway, go on, carry on.
Yeah, I'm just going to say Dangerous Dave is here. We'll be seeing Dangerous Dave, I say, over the weekend, because he'll be going to the Punch Con. So good to see you, Dave.
Good to see you, Dave.
Yeah, it's been a while. because you banned him. He's the one you can't get on because you can't unban him.
He can still show up. He just can't post comments.
Who else we got? Oh, we got my Andrew Mike, of course.
Hey there.
And unfortunately, yeah, I don't know why.
Yep, Gareth Evans is going. There's David. Forgive me, David. I can't remember his surname. And Tweez is going. And whoever else says they're going. Good old Yorkshire, God's country, as they say. Just
and
to see.
I'll answer extra.
You do look a little different to the pair of us, but that's probably just your lighting. Hiya, Nordic, out the hospital at last. Thank goodness.
I'm still in the pub.
No, you're just having a rest on the bunk bed.
Oh, lovely.
Reading your movie magazine, your movie comic, and smoking cigarettes and waiting for the
bunk bed's so comfortable.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Such a
Extra Squeaky wants to know what kind of music would I play when I'm playing GBOH. Ooh, I think that'd have to be the Rome Total War soundtrack. A lot of battle music in there.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just put that up again. Yeah, right.
Sure. I'm a history teacher. That's kind of part of the job description.
Mind you, Koi does the same. Yeah, teachers not what they used to be. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I suppose, but yeah, do you put music on that's themed to what you're playing, or do you just put some music on? You know.
And it can't be music with words.
Shut up, Ian. I made a mistake. All right. A lot of you, shut up. they're wags, aren't they? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, well, funny thing is, some of them didn't even notice it. So that's
okay. I didn't. And it's gone all over the interweb.
I mean, think about it, Ruff. Last week we went from organizing games to now the third or fourth.
Yeah. That's a great track. That's a great track.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Nordic says that I wanted to make it known that I haven't made fun of you yet.
No. Oh, there we are. A lot of lightning yesterday. Oh, that's Stuka out in Puerto Rico, I believe. And there's Tweez loading his car up for next week.
Hey.
Good to see you. Oh yeah, please. Do us a favor, smash the like button. That would be absolutely wonderful. And as always, I thank you to everybody that comes every week. We love you. We really do. Nothing you can do about it. Our subscribers, well, mine, I always love my subscribers. Do appreciate the fact that you put up with me, put in third for the third. So anyway, yes, no, of course there is.
It's hard to find good help around here.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, see, Dragon X thought no spelling errors, just grammar errors.
It's like me. You sort of read it and you don't notice it. It's only just going through. Won't be a chat. Anything else you'd like to tell us while I do that? Because I can't do two things at once because I make a mistake.
Let me ask this, Ruff.
They're just putting stuff down that they want to play. Yeah, just keep it.
Yes, it's a question we try to answer, and then he interrupts us.
Sorry,
I was just thinking the same thing.
He's like, go ahead and talk. We start talking, and then he starts babbling again.
Well, I thought I'd get my own back because there's a certain someone that does that a lot. But anyway, off you go, chaps.
What game are you going to play next after Skies?
Interesting. I'll come back to that. Well, I'll tell you now. No, I'll tell you. I'm joking. Just to wind you up. I'm just joking. All right. You can't get the British sense of humor.
Oh, right. Man.
I was going to do the playthroughs of the tutorials of Fields of Fire. Still might. But there's a subscriber of mine who emails me every so often just to say, hi, how's it going? Love what you're doing. And he's emailed me more than once. And he emailed me the other day and said, please, because he lives right by the shores of the lakes. Please, can you play A Glorious Chance? So by Gina Willis, a solitaire game. So I may well do that next, just because one of my subbies has asked for it. So we'll see how we go, and then put off Fields of Fire. That is actually one of my 10 to play anyway.
So then, what needs to happen is that more people need to start emailing you about wanting Fields of Fire, and then you'll do Fields of Fire instead of that.
But I'll know they're only doing it because they're being a bit silly, and I love them for it. No, if nobody else, don't think, unless I put up a poll, but I think I might do that. It's quite a crunchy little game for a solo game. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, that might be the next game in the Rough Swordsman channel.
Well, okay, so since Skies Above Britain, the Battle of Britain only lasted,
you say this every week. I say this every week, Nate. Yeah.
Right.
It
lasted months, but the War of 1812 lasted years. So
I'll probably get that over in a couple of weeks then, just to be obtuse.
Oh my goodness.
For long, yes, he only told you because she told you to show up, did you? Oh, look, he's you're not far from me then. Chelmsford is not very far away. That's the Essex ground, and he's talking about cricket.
Okay.
That's the Essex County ground.
What games are you planning on playing on your hiatus?
Well, when I'm away next week, we've got Panzer. Gareth said, I'll bring along a Panzer Grenadier. What do you want to play? I said, play anything. I don't care. We'll play something. This War of Mine, Combat Commander. So that's a series that I'd like to have a go at, which fits well in with this week's subject, that I'd like to play. And I'm going to be playing that over the weekend.
What about Here I Stand?
Sorry?
What about Here I Stand?
Look, I love, and a Dangerous Dave, I think we'll play. They played, the Virgin Queen. Here I Stand. They sit there for 3 days, and they're happy, and they sit there and play that game. I'm not sure I could do that. I like many and varied. I'm pilot high, sell it cheap. There's no quality here. Let's try as much as we can. But yeah, all credit to those that sit there and play the same game for the whole weekend. Good luck to them.
Nice, Mike. Boy, you are quite a ways away back in the chat there.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're asking me questions.
I mean,
I'll ask Jester a question then while you go through.
Go on, and you two chat away. I just want to get through the chat because I do get comments before you start. I do get comments saying, please go through the chat and leave them up for a little bit because we can't read it. All right. I'm just letting you know, I'm keeping me boys and girls happy. Go for it.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, okay. Jester, so let me ask this. So you're playing digital games, okay, right now. When you do come back to a board game, what might you pull out next? Has anything been sort of gnawing at you that you want to try it?
Wargame. I suppose you're talking wargame wise, right? You're not talking just anything in general.
I would say anything in general.
I don't have any. When I always played board games, I never really sat down and had a schedule. Like Phoenix Knight likes to schedule, okay, this is going to be on Wednesday, this is going to be Friday, this is going to be Saturday. Literally, I would sit there at work and read rules or whatever, and then I would come home and I would look at a game and say, oh, you know what, I'm going to play this instead. So I'm like, well, then I wasted all day at work not doing anything. So I just kind of, whatever I look at, whatever sounds good, kind of just inspires me at that moment. So that's pretty much it.
That makes sense. That happens to me quite a bit.
So I got a question for you since we're cut rough off the shelf here.
Hey, go enjoy yourself, looking through the chat. Enjoy.
He's got to catch up for like an hour.
He still hasn't caught up.
How is the board game bunker coming, and when are you guys doing another video?
So, great question. Thank you. So we had the last episode on the benefits of a small collection, and that went over. That was fun. That was good. currently, we are hoping to film something here. I'd say within the next few weeks, next couple of weeks, maybe. It's just been it's been a lot of life come through. I think I've mentioned to both of you in the green room before, so kind of getting caught up on all that, and a lot of changes happened. So we are hoping to probably do something a little bit different. Is actually do topics where certain topics that we think would be good to like sit down and talk to one another, as in the last 4 episodes. And then other topics that we might do something like similar to this, where we're in our computers and we could do kind of quick topics here and there. So we'll there's definitely more coming though. Definitely more coming. I know that he's told me that he is working on filming a series, a learning series actually right now. And I was filming on learning a war game, and I filmed a good chunk of it, went back to kind of edit it and review it, and just really didn't like it. I didn't like how I came across, as like I felt like it was very, I don't know, monotone, kind of boring and very stale. And so I just scrapped it, and I thought I'll start again. It's the perfectionist in me. I want it to be nice. And I don't want it to sound like, in rule 42, you should do this. I don't want people to fall asleep by minute 1 in the video. So
that's why videos, if you play them,
yes, add more cowbell. Oh man, that's a hilarious Saturday Night Live sketch. Anyway, sorry.
That's all right.
I was just saying that's why it takes so long if you record videos, that because of you've got to make it interesting. You've got to edit out all the coughs and splutters and swear words and burps and things you've done wrong. You have to redo. It does take an absolute age, but
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
it doesn't take an age.
I know live.
I know.
Yeah,
You don't want to hear.
Then people expect. I think I don't know. As I keep saying to you, I haven't got the setup to do live, so you have to put up with non-live.
You probably have this setup. You probably don't have a good setup. You probably have enough set up that you can.
Well, it's the room really. I haven't got. I could do a setup with what I've got. It's pretty okay. I could do with another light. Could do with another.
Isn't it? Like 8 o'clock, you tell the wife, "Go up and go to bed," and I've got things to do here. No, you don't do that.
Yeah, I don't. No, because I don't know. Just me. I'm different. To actually do it, Gareth. Bloody cheek. But I can understand why.
Man, Christoph, I totally understand how you felt. I mean, I've been on this for a year, over a year now, and still every once in a while, it's taken me a long time to even get used to like looking at myself.
It does take a bit
on camera.
I'm used to it, not only because of this, but because of stuff I used to do, being filmed all the time if I'm on stage or whatever. So I'm listening to your own voice is another thing. It takes a heck of a lot to get you. I still don't like it. And singing, when I used to sing in the band, well, no, I couldn't watch them. But yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah, eventually you just kind of, you don't even think about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now I don't know, because ugly is
ugly. When we first started, we were just happy to have 1 or 2 people. Now we're like, damn, I wish we had 100. It's like,
well, we're getting there.
We're getting there. We were what, 97 one show, so
almost, yeah.
It depends on what's going on. Depends on the subject, I suppose. The subject's got to tweak everybody. Solitaire subjects tend to be very popular.
Simon, what's going on? Joe, how you doing? Nerd Workshop, good to see him back.
Is Nerdy there? Good, good, good. See,
well, thanks, DJ and Nordic. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you both.
Yeah, don't start him off. He won't be able to get into that cupboard where he's got his games. Stop it.
That's right.
Nicely organized. It's all put away.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about series games today,
yep, we are.
Do you guys find that you play more games from a series or less more games that are not part of a series?
Well, the one I'm playing could be classed as part of a series, the Skies and Storm series by Jerry White.
It's a series.
I would call it a series. So, yeah, I can see me coming back. I can see me coming back to it and having a go at some of the others, Skies or Storm Above the Reich. Not as complex. Of course, there's always Panzer Grenadier, which we'll be playing. And I've come back. That must be, I think, the most one I've gone back to over the years and played games of as a series. There's lots of series I haven't tried and I want to. I've got them. I haven't tried them. But because I've got a lot of one-off solitaire games, it's going to be, I want to get those out of the way. Glorious Chance, Storm of Steel. What else we got over here? Some of the carrier games as well. There's lots of sort of solitaire games that they're one-offs that I want to play. Cruel Necessity, not a series game, but yeah, it's because I've got a lot of catching up to do.
My question was, do you play more games that are part of a series or more games that are not of a series?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That explains a lot.
I guess I would answer that question as probably not part of a series, in that when I'm looking at a particular game, like I'm looking for, when I'm going to look for a game, I'm looking for a topic or a scale, like operational or strategic or whatever. So I'll find games that are within sort of that framework. Like an example would be, if I want strategic World War II, then there might be World in Flames, Axis Empires, and say Unconditional Surrender or A World at War, something like that. And so I would get a number of games that are within that theme, and so then I can sort of compare and see what each one brings to that particular subject and that theme and that scale. Another one might be something like, for instance, let's see, I have BGG pulled up. For instance, if I'm looking for something on the Stalingrad campaign, then I got Stalingrad 42, Traces of Hubris, and Fall Blau from Compass. And they're all about the same scale, the same map scale as well. So they're all three different, but they're all in the same theme, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you see, for me, I think that's why I can't say I play a lot of series as opposed to one-offs, because you're very sort of disciplined in what you want to play. You won't play, for instance, maybe it could be wrong. It seems you wouldn't play a Cold War Gone Hot game.
Me?
Or would you play that, or a science fiction game, or a science fiction game?
Yeah, I'd play that. I'd play anything.
Yeah, because that's what attracts me to a game. Is what I'm trying to say is think, ooh, I'm not, going after operational World War II Eastern Front games. If one comes up and I go, oh, that looks interesting, I might consider it. But then a game will come up and say Space Pirates, and I'll go, oh, that looks good. Or one on, like I say, the Cruel Necessity on the English Civil War. Not many games about those, not many series of those, apart from Truss and Bucket, Musket and Pike. So, but yeah, I'm not a subject orientated gamer. It's whatever. That's why I'm pilot high, sell it cheap. Play as many as I can rather than concentrating on one.
Well, when I'm looking for, like, for instance, if I'm looking for a topic on a game on a particular topic that I can't find anything on, or I come across a game that topically seems interesting, but I wouldn't generally be interested in, like, say this, like the scale, like, for instance, tactical. Like, you guys know, I'm not that much into tactical, but I bought GTS. I bought GTS, the Utah Beach one.
Again, that's sort of bordering, though, isn't it?
It is a little bordering it. Yep. Yeah. But the big thing that drew me and convinced me to get it was the way that the game looked to me. Like, this may not be a scale that I'm necessarily interested in it, but it looks cool. And it looks like you can have a lot of fun with it. And especially when it has, like, Easy Company in it, and it has scenarios that deal with Band of Brothers. Okay, I like that series. So it's playing on things that I already know and are interesting to me. So it convinced me to buy a game on a scale that I'm not normally into.
Yeah, I think that's how I work as well. What about you, Jester?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
This is going to go well. Well, that one, that's our Mr. Lootman's game, isn't it? I think.
It is.
I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it out yet?
No, he did email me. He did text me and said he said he might, if he can swing it, get me one, because I told him a story. I told a story on here once about my granddad being evacuated from Dunkirk, and it hit him, and he said, "Yeah, I loved your story. I'll try and get your copy from Lee." So we'll see. If not, it looks good. I might get it anyway because it's another. It's a remake of the one he did earlier.
Yeah,
the States of Siege one. I think he's tweaked it and that sort of thing.
Oh, that's cool. Dragon X is going to play a Most Fearful Sacrifice. That's an awesome game.
I've not played that, not got it. Again, I'm trying to get into American Civil War.
That's the game where, when I played it, I listened to the Gettysburg movie soundtrack for it. That made it very, very cool.
Oh,
You're sad.
Oh my God, that's too funny. Way too funny. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, lots of chat. They're all chatting away. So
interesting.
I'll
tell you what, concerning Dunkirk, I found it was very fascinating. And when the movie Dunkirk came out, that they did a special showing to Dunkirk veterans, and they
I remember hearing about that.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that though. I need to go watch that movie. Check it out.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's okay. I mean, some of them, the nitpicky people, were saying the Spitfire. I didn't realize Spitfires had so much ammunition in them. So
right.
They're little things like that, I suppose. But generally speaking, it's got, what's his name? That musician that turned actor.
Oh yes, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. He's actually not wearing a dress for once, so that's fine. So it could be worth watching for that.
I will say, in the interview, with the one video that I saw with an interview from a Dunkirk veteran, that he really enjoyed the movie. He said it captured a lot of what he remembered. But the one thing that he criticized the movie on is that the beach was too clean.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was littered with many more men and equipment, and it was just a mess.
Yeah.
As opposed to what is shown in the movie. So,
I'm going to have to watch the John Mills, the old black and white film about Dunkirk, to see and to look at that sort of thing. That's quite a good film as well.
Yeah. Or even they showed, for instance, at the beginning of the Battle of Britain movie, they showed the beaches of Dunkirk, and it was a mess.
Yeah.
Because Coy says he prefers the John Mills version anyways.
So who says that?
Coy.
Oh, the John Mills, Coy. Yeah, they're both. It's very British, the John Mills one, and I love it because of that. So we'll see.
I did like in the Dunkirk movie that the recent one is that they also show the side from trying to evacuate the small boats going across, and particularly like they don't mention his name, but of the man and his son and the son's friend coming to rescue them on the beach, that I didn't realize until after the movie when I went home and read a little bit about it that one of the captains of the small boats that's I believe still in, I think it's in the Imperial War Museum, is Charles Lightoller, who was an officer on the Titanic.
Really?
So he survived the Titanic sinking, went through World War I, and then helped rescue them in World War II.
Yeah. Again, there's another film with Richard Attenborough in it about the small boats being corralled up by the authorities and everybody going, "Hey, you're not having my boat," and going out to rescue with these little weenie that could just about make it over the channel to rescue the boys stuck at Dunkirk. Another great film,
I didn't know until earlier this year. I was reading a book and came across it mentioned there that the British admiral that was in charge of the whole operation, Bertram Ramsay, that his office is inside one of the cliffs of Dover. Like, that's pretty cool to have your office inside the cliff itself.
Well, it's only chalk, isn't it? So you've got to be a bit careful. But yeah.
Jeez, I don't know if I want to be there.
Well, then you can look out and you can
look out,
all the way across the channel.
That's true.
Well, that's a good question to talk about when we discuss it. Do you start at the beginning of the series? Where do you do? No. Anyway, we'll talk about that. That's good point there, Robert. Good point.
Good question. But no.
I think you chip in, unless the rules, but then if they're series rules, they don't change, do they? They're the series rules.
I guess it also depends. This question also depends on how many games you play.
Yeah.
How long you've been playing. I've been playing games for 40 years. A lot longer than you guys. So
yeah. No doubt.
I've probably played a lot more
longer
series
than I've been alive.
All right. He has to always make a point about how young he is.
How young he is. I know.
Really?
I mean, you had it right there. I couldn't miss it.
Right. But he was on his deathbed when he met us. So
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, bless your heart, Nate. Bless your heart. Start to use it.
I'm so glad I taught you that phrase.
So yeah, I tell you what we'll do. Let's have something going on with us three. What do you want to do? Oh, Camp, how you doing, matey?
Camp,
he's got
what's going on, buddy?
As well. Yeah, yellow card for Nate. Yeah,
I'm going to be sending something to Camp. So one of these days, anyways, hopefully.
Now, I'll comment on Nordic's comment when he starts a series. The only series he thinks he'll start with the first game is Stonewall Jackson's Way, GCACW. And I think I would agree with this because it would be interesting to play through the campaigns chronologically.
Oh, is that the first one? Is that the earliest? That's the earliest one, is it?
Yeah, first one after. Yeah, right. Or Bull Run, depending on if you're from the north.
Yeah, I think I would do that as well if I was playing something like, or you can't really do it with GBACW so much because they're just battles, aren't they, that go on.
Yeah,
you've got you've got Death Valley, you've got 1862 and 64. They're not all the battles are there though, and Into the Woods. So it's a little bit different with those. But the campaigns, as it's called campaigns, you can actually work your way through. I think, can't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's one series that I just we talked about that in the green room. One series that I haven't played, but I just don't have any desire to play that series. And even though I own a couple of the games from the series.
Oh, really? Which ones do you have?
Oh.
I don't know. It's buried back there somewhere.
Is that Great Battles? Great Battles or Great Campaigns?
It's the one that came out like 2 years ago. I don't know.
Is that the one that was in the sale we got for next to nothing?
Probably. Probably.
Death Valley with Great Battles. This one.
Oh, okay.
Into the Woods
or Death Valley.
Death Valley. No, it wasn't Death Valley.
Oh,
Was it Hood Strikes North?
That's the campaigns, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Then there's Thunder on the Mississippi, the Vicksburg campaign. And my understanding is I read somewhere, I don't know if it's true, but the next one is a redo of Stonewall in the Valley, the Jackson's Valley campaign, the Shenandoah Valley campaign.
What's going on in your part of the world? Everybody is getting bad weather, thunderstorms, and God knows what else. Camp saying it, Nordic saying it.
It's part of living in America during the spring. It's thunderstorm and tornado season.
Thanks, Dave. We'll take them into account. Thank you, my friend. Lock and load. Cheers.
Right. I'm going to look through the website until I see the game. Then I'll tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of curiosity, Ruff, in England, have you ever had a tornado in England?
We had a hurricane once.
Oh,
a hurricane once?
Yes. And of course, being English, it was like all very English. It was quite funny. It's quite famous. I think 82, 84. I can't remember. We get bad weather. We get sort of gusty winds, and trees might fall if they're a bit wobbly in the ground. But this one in particular, we had a weatherman who was called Michael Fish. That was his name. And he was a famous weatherman, used to come on at 6 o'clock, after the news and do the weather. And he said, I've had some people, concerned about there's a hurricane coming in over, the southern part of England overnight. And I can assure you there is no hurricane on its way. Anyway, went to bed and nothing. Yes, Dangerous Dave, the fish story. Something happened, but I didn't wake up. It didn't wake me up. But when I got up the next day, there were trees everywhere, cars overturned, windows smashed. The whole southeast of England came to a halt. No buses, no trains, nothing. That's the only time we've had that sort of hurricane. We don't get tornadoes, tornado season, for goodness sake. What's going on? Shellhaven. I used to work there in my youth. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We
get sort of. Sorry. Where are we?
Yeah, in the Midlands.
Yeah, and we get some gusty winds, and 80-mile-an-hour winds. The gusts at 80 miles an hour. But
you need a lot of flat land.
Yeah, well, if you're in Lincolnshire, for instance, up, that's very flat. Norfolk's quite flat as well, but yeah. Not like you guys, where you have to sort of border up the windows and go underground. Thank goodness.
I grew up with them. I mean, I remember once growing up that the sirens went off. We lived in the country. There was this big plot of farmland behind us, and heard the sirens go off, and look in the back, and outside the back of the house, and way off in the field, there was a tornado going by.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. We just don't get those. It's Yeah, we just don't get them. But so because it doesn't, I can't relate to it. I can't feel much. I do feel empathy, but it's like
watch the twist.
You never experienced the hurricane like I experienced last year.
Right, I remember that
when the hurricane went right over our freaking house.
Yeah, I can't. It's go. Geez, I just can't get my head around it.
There's nothing weird. There's nothing weirder than you have 2 or 3 hours of intense action, and then it goes deaf and it's silent, and you go outside. I got pictures of me outside in the middle of the night taking pictures of me checking things out, and it was the eye of the hurricane that came by.
Oh, yeah.
And it was completely silent. I was like, oh, it's over. It's ready to go to bed. And then, oh, my God, when the second half came.
Because I think it's worse on the second half,
Yeah, that's
right?
what they say. It's always stronger on the other side. Yeah.
Oh, when you go through the eye?
Yeah.
Oh, on the other side of the eye.
Oh, blimey. Right. Oh, I can't. Us Brits can't get our heads around it. It's... Oh, earthquakes. What's all that about? It's...
Never experienced one of those.
We do get them, but nobody feels them. They are recorded because they have things in the ground that record, the tremors. We do get them, but nobody notices them. So, they're not.
Everyone just kind of rolls over. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had,
you do have some weird weather over there.
Yeah. We've had.
And when you get thunderstorms, you get thunderstorms, don't you, as well?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Thunderstorms, lightning. It doesn't matter where you live, you get something. Blizzard,
we get
hurricanes, whatever. Yeah. I mean, you're going to get some kind of weather somewhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think I've told this story on this channel. We left here and we were going to Scotland, and we got out the day before a hurricane was supposed to arrive here in Florida. And we were like, oh, thank God. The hurricane missed Florida, went all the way up and into Scotland. And the last day we were in Scotland, we were hunkered down and the airport was shut down because the hurricane arrived.
Oh, my gosh.
Good grief.
So my wife always says now,
this is it, because it's a Brit hosting, they're all talking about the weather. So that's what we do. So you're becoming British, all the lot of you, if you aren't already. Because that's what we talk about.
What do you think of Scotland? Have you been up to Scotland?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Scotland. I did, what do we call it? Calculus. When I was at university, I did a calculus session there. Went to Stirling. Which is a beautiful place,
Yeah, it's a battle there.
Yep. Went to the bridge,
and you learned calculus.
Bridge, went to the battle. Yeah, did calculus. Didn't do much calculus because I was very young, and it was just like, hey, Scottish
took calculus for what reason?
Huh?
You took calculus for what reason?
Because I wanted to, because it's part of I wanted to become what I wanted to become in biochemistry. I needed calculus. I just was interested in calculus.
I get you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the thing they tell us when we're younger. Oh, you got to learn all these things so you can get your profession, right? And then you go and do all these things, and then you never use them. Like all the things that I was trained in high school and in college, I didn't really do any of that. Hardly any. I went for marine biology. Do you see me being a marine biologist?
No, but actually, being a biochemist, it was something I think I'll do it, but I've never used it. And
George was
marine biology at Imperial, where I was studying. There was one thing we could go away on. Went to Cornwall, and it was a marine biology thing, and biochemists were allowed to go. So I went, yes, I'm going. Great fun. We were measuring muscles and things.
Whenever I think of and hear the name marine biologist or marine biology, I always think of Seinfeld and the episode with George, who in order to get a girl, he had to pretend that he was a marine biologist. Yeah, that's the golf ball. The sea was angry that day, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
and it was quite good because the marine biology course was full of mainly young women, which was rather nice. So,
right. So is my typing class.
Yeah. Whereas
I was in, I think, 9th grade high school, and I took typing, and everyone was like, "Why do you want to learn how to type?" And I was like, "That's where all the girls are hanging out."
Exactly.
I think we've been. Look at Historic Wings comment there. I think that's true.
Covert operations.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people, I'm not saying everyone, but I would say a good 80 to 90% of people go to school for something and then they get a job doing something else. So it's
funny you should say that. There was a lot of people at Imperial doing the biology degree, and we're talking to them because they shared some of the lectures with the biochemists with us, and we're talking to them, and we're saying, "Oh, what are you going to do when you get your degree?" "Oh, I'm going into banking. I'm doing this. I'm doing nothing to do with biology because it's a degree. Because jobs then, this is way back in, then
just needed the piece of paper.
If you were educated to a degree level, that means you could come in and do lots of managerial jobs, that don't necessarily. And they thought it was an easy degree. How wrong they were! They were bemoaning it constantly. It's not as easy as I thought. No, of course it's not. But yeah, they were doing it to just get into sort of banking or in insurance or whatever, you know. But anyway, let's do something, Nate.
Games.
Huh?
Back to games.
Back to games. Back to Nate's notes.
Uh-oh.
We're doing that.
Jeez.
Oh, well, okay.
Don't you think it's 50 odd minutes?
It's up to you. You're running the show.
Yeah, I am. Get on with it.
Okay. I'm just waiting for as soon as I start to talk that you'll cut me off and go back
I'll never
to
do that. I'll never no, I'll never do that. Except to say that I'll never do that.
Bless your heart.
Thank you.
So I have two things.
Off you go.
One is to let people know that if you are interested in digital war games, that there is actually a sale going on right now on Steam for war games. It ends on the 5th. So if you are interested in finding any PC games, war games, then those are on sale, and such as Mark Herman's Rebel Fury. The digital version is on sale right now. So I just thought I would let people know as a public service announcement. And then back to the regularly scheduled program for Nate's Notes. That is this book today. If you are interested in the history of medieval Europe, then this book, Medieval Europe by Chris Wickham. This is an excellent kind of just overview of the entirety of the medieval period, from the end of the Western Roman Empire until, generally speaking, historians consider the end of the Middle Ages as the Reformation, or the fall of Constantinople in 1453. So it's not that long. Not that long, not that thick book. So it is, but this is an excellent. It is.
It's an important question, Nate.
It is. It is. It is an excellent book because Chris Wickham also wrote another book that I will share. This one, The Inheritance of Rome. This is about the Dark Ages. So from the end of the Roman Empire, and includes the fall of Rome to about the year 1000. And he continues it with this book as he covers the whole medieval period rather than just the Dark Ages in that one. So Chris Wickham is a great historian, and he does really well on making a lot of hard to understand concepts very interesting and easy to learn. It's actually a skill in history to write history where it's actually interesting to read, as an amateur, if you like, an amateur historian, or somebody interested in history rather than a historian. My biggest bugbear with history books is the way a lot of them are written, as though they're writing them as a dissertation for a doctorate or something, or for They don't think of poor old people like me who want to learn, suck up this knowledge. But dry as a bone. Dry as dust.
Yes. Dry as a bone.
Yep. So, but this is great book. I'd recommend it. Just called Medieval Europe, Chris Wickham.
And it's a good read as well, is it? It
is. It's a very good read. Very, very good read. So, especially if you're interested in medieval history. And, speaking of a war game series, there is this series from GMT about medieval operations. Like
doctors and things?
No, medieval military operations. I think you know what I'm talking about.
What, a series?
Mm-hmm. There is a series.
Men of Iron?
Yeah. You haven't played it yet. But first volume came out from Volko Runke.
Oh, no. The Levy and Dubry.
The Levy and Campaign series.
Yes,
So if you want a good background on those, you could read this and then go play that.
No, I just read it just because it's medieval and it's Europe, and that's Cool. But yeah, no, the Levian campaign, I'm sorry, Volky, it's great, but no, don't stop it.
You got some extra room on them shelves. Take some books off.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, and look what happened. Now I was thinking the other day, I did have a book on that. Oh, bums. It's somewhere.
I can't find the book now.
I'll find the book in the loft where the book, anyway.
That's
so
funny.
Pluses and minuses. Anyway, I will do just the last because I love what he's doing there. It's interesting. So we'll keep that the best for last. We'll do Ruffs Remembers stuff. And as I said in the green room, not a lot is happening historically or military-wise. Lots of happening historically, but from our point of view, not a lot happened. And we start in 1942, World War II. Yeah, there's nothing early going on. Nothing, that some really obscure stuff going on, but nothing like this. So 1942, the Japanese naval troops invade Tulagi Island in the Solomon Islands during the first part of Operation Mo, that results in the Battle of the Coral Sea between Japanese forces and forces from the United States and Australia. This invasion of Tulagi on the 3rd and 4th of May, or as we say over here, the 3rd and 4th of May, was part of Operation Mo, the Empire of Japan's strategy in the South Pacific and Southwest Pacific area in 42. The plan called for Imperial Japanese Navy troops to capture Tulagi and nearby islands in the British Solomon Islands Protectorate. The occupation of Tulagi by the Japanese was intended to cover the flank of and provide reconnaissance support for Japanese forces that were advancing on Port Moresby in New Guinea, provide greater defensive depth for the major Japanese base at Rabaul, and serve as a base for Japanese forces to threaten and interdict the supply and communication routes between the United States, Australia, and New Zealand. So you see, I've had to put a bit of detail in. Not a lot going on. But I hope you found that interesting. 1942, the tragedy at Kufra. 3 British Blenheim Mark IVs of number 15 Squadron South African Air Force detached to support Allied ground forces garrisoning the oasis at Kufra in Libya become lost whilst on a familiarization flight and land in the Libyan desert. They are not found until the 11th of May, by which time only one of 12 crew survived. 2 of the planes are flown out in May, but the damaged one is abandoned in place. So that's a bit. Again in 42, in a raid on the Arctic convoy PQ-15, 6 Heinkel HE-111s of the Luftwaffe 1 Gruppe Kampfgeschwader 26 make Germany's first torpedo bomber attack of World War II. They sink 2 merchant ships outright and damage a 3rd, which a German submarine later sinks. 3 of the Heinkels are lost. And then in 1950, HMS Ark Royal is launched at Birkenhead, Audacious-class aircraft carrier, Royal Navy's last remaining conventional catapult and arrested landing aircraft carrier, and world's first aircraft carrier to be commissioned with an angled flight deck. Is it still commissioned? I'm not sure.
I don't believe so.
I don't think it is. So this is a little bit out of date. But that's 1950. It was launched today. 1999, last one. And this is quite apt to what's going on in that part of the world between India and Pakistan. In 1999, infiltration of Pakistani soldiers on Indian side results in the Kargil War. The Kargil War, also known as the Kargil Conflict, was fought between India and Pakistan from May to July 1999 in the Kargil district of Ladakh and elsewhere along this line of control, which was not a sort of border, but was like an agreed sort of that of no man's land sort of thing in the middle. A bit like if you, what's the next war series that has that? And I think the Vietnam one or the Korea one has this demarcation line. But anyway, the line of control between the two countries. In India, the conflict is also referred to as Operation Vijay, Victory, which was the code name of the Indian military operation in the region. The Indian Air Force acted jointly with the Indian Army to flush out the Pakistan Army and paramilitary troops from vacated Indian positions along this LOC, line of control, in what was designated as Operation Safed Sagar, White Sea. The conflict was triggered by the infiltration of Pakistani troops disguised as Kashmiri militants into strategic positions on the Indian side of the LOC, which serves as the de facto border between the two countries in the disputed region of Kashmir. During its initial stages, Pakistan blamed the fighting entirely on independent Kashmiri insurgents, but documents left behind by casualties and later statements by Pakistan's Prime Minister and Chief of Army Staff showed the involvement of Pakistani paramilitary forces led by General Ashraf Rashid. The Indian Army, later supported by the Indian Air Force, recaptured a majority of the positions on the Indian side of the LOC, facing international diplomatic opposition. Pakistani forces withdrew from all remaining Indian positions along the LOC. That could have turned into something nasty, and it's looking a little bit dodgy in that part of the world as we speak between the two countries. But yes, thanks, Gareth. It's scrapped in 78, the Ark Roll, but 50 launched today. So a lot going on. That's all there is. I made a little bit more expanded stuff for the ones that I found interesting. So Jester, what do you got?
All right, so we're talking about what? Series games, right? So I wanted to have a series game that's a hidden gem. I actually own this game. It's right up here, right behind Tide of Iron. Tide of Iron's right there.
I've never heard of it.
This other one's right here. And so it's a series game.
It's a block game.
And no, it's not a block game at
RPG.
all. And in fact, it's part of the GTS series. And let me share my screen here if I can.
Okay.
And no, that's the wrong button there. Share screen. There we go. Window. Here we go. All right. My hidden gem for this week. Where Eagles Dare. The Battle for Hell's Highway. The reason this is a hidden gem is two reasons. This is one of the original games that first came out with the GTS series. Mm-hmm. But this is super, super hard to find because they're not reprinting it. And
not yet.
Well, not yet, but I don't foresee them reprinting it anytime soon.
Well, they are doing the Devil's Cauldron.
They did the Devil's Cauldron, but that took 6 years. So if you want to wait another 6 years.
Right. Well, I mean, it's currently on pre-order for the Devil's Cauldron to redo it. So they might do this in 6 years.
Yeah, you never know. So, yeah, this is the Battle of Hell's Highway. This is Arnhem.
Yeah.
If you want to find out, this is actually, in my opinion, right, this is the original GTS, which is slightly different than the version you got, or the Greatest Day, which is version 2 of GTS. I think this is actually a little bit simpler and easier to get into, though, to be honest. I find it a little bit smoother and easier, but the problem is, obviously, this is a gem because it's hard to find.
And also, it's the only one that uses Series 1 rules of the big games.
I think
Devil's Cauldron and Where Eagles Dare merged together, and you can do both of them.
Yeah. This one, unlike others, doesn't have many scenarios. Like, basically, it's just the campaign. So...
there is limited, use with that, but... I think, if you're trying to find a series to get into and you're looking for something with a little bit of meat to it, I find the GTS series works great as a solo player. Let me tell you why the solo series works. Is in a lot of games and a lot of tactical games, you have to decide, like when an enemy moves into your area, whether or not you're going to opportunity fire. Well, that is all taken out of the equation because you now roll a die to find out do they attack. So you just automatically roll a die to find out if they get an attack on you or not. And I think that's pretty cool. So there you go. That is a hidden gem this week. Where Eagles Dare, part of our series of games, the GTS series, by Multi-Man Publishing. And cool. Here's some of the other ones. The Greatest Day. And Nate, you got the other one.
Yeah, Utah Beach. Yep.
Our Utah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the other ones, Where Eagles Dare and the Devil's Cauldron. So there you go. That is my gem for this week.
Nice one. Brilliant. Yeah. And apologies, Camp. Didn't find any reference to it. And all the places I look for my history bits and pieces, I didn't find anything. So apologies. Also the Battle of Salem Church. So thanks. Trust him to put his tuppence in, Camp. He's terrible. No, thank you. And that was good. Yes, good one. The other one that who said it's an entry point for GTS. Also, No Surrender is a good entry point for GTS, but it unfortunately uses. Sorry,
much more affordable.
Yeah, and smaller, but it only uses version 1 of the rules. So that's what you take into account.
Strike Counter Strike uses the current version of the rules. It doesn't come with it, so you have to download it, but it does use the current version. With them. Yeah. Yes, and it's neat because then because it's a it comes in a magazine, and in the magazine there is an article on how to learn to play GTS.
It can be, and yes,
GTS can be expensive. It's true,
and that's the one I wanted, Operation Mercury.
Operation Mercury, yeah.
It's, expensive.
And there's the smaller box one. What is that one called?
The Gazala.
Fort France. Yeah, in
I know what you're talking about.
Somebody in the chat will remind us. To be honest,
the Battle of Bir Hakeem.
That's
I should pick a game that's affordable. That's why it's a gem. It's because it's not affordable. It's a hidden gem because only the best of the best have this game.
He had to say
it. If every schmuck had it, then it wouldn't be a gem.
That's true. That's true. I do love the word I do love the word schmuck. I use it as often as I can.
That's no question of surrender.
Yeah, no question of surrender. That's the one. Yes, I was trying to look for on the show.
Robert.
Thank you, Robert. So yes, right. Which leads us sort of nicely in, I suppose, to today's subject about war series or war game series. We, and I mean we, and we mean we in the chat, haven't played but would love to. There is a lot of them, and I'll start off because I'm hopefully playing this over the weekend. One of the series is Combat Commander. I assume it uses a series rules. I have no idea. I don't own any of it. That's right, Jester. Series rules.
Yep.
We will be playing.
Is slightly different, but but
it has an overall thing with tweaks depending on what box you get, sort of thing. Yeah.
No. All the rules are core.
Okay, so no special rules for special parts of the world like Pacific or Mediterranean. Oh, brilliant.
There might be like specific like scenario rules or something like for like sewer rats for the Russians or something. But
right, gotcha. But that's explained in the scenario book. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I've not played it. I had to cancel my P500 because one of the reasons is this is one of the few series that is quite hard.
I gotta go.
I know.
Yeah.
But I may change my mind when I come back next week. You know, it's not easy to solo. So,
how do you know unless you try it?
Well, people have, and
I played it solo.
But you're not everybody, Ref.
No, and I'm not everybody that can solo stuff with cards. So it's.
Have you tried?
Look, as I said, I'd love to try. It's a series I'd love to try, and I did have it in order, but sort of money wise and its playability, if I'm not at a convention, which is like once a year. Wouldn't justify the expense. So I'm looking forward to giving it a go. So I may come back all smiley and giggly over it and won't stop talking about it, or I'll say, well, at least I've tried it. So that's mine. I haven't actually got any. I haven't played it, but I'm looking forward to playing it.
Okay. I can't wait for you to play it. I hope you find a decent player that can teach you the game. Well, I hope you have a good time with it.
Yeah, sorry, it's Gareth. So you have to give what you're given.
Oh, it's Gareth. Oh, well, it's over then. It's over. Yes, what series are you looking for?
So I own this, and I bought this last year. Haven't gotten to a table yet, but it is from OSG, but it is not the Library of Napoleonic Battles. It is the Campaigns of Napoleon. This is Bonaparte in Italy. That I can't show you the back of the box because there's nothing there to show you what the map is. But it's
cheap states.
Right. It's a map of all of northern Italy, and that covers the 1796-97 campaign, as well as the campaign for 1800 for Marengo. So this is a operational level Napoleonic game, and that I was looking for it at the time last year, and so I thought I'd pick this one up and try it out. And I know there are others in this series, but we'll try this one out as the first one.
Interesting choice, says Nordic.
Maybe. Jester, what about you?
Yeah, what have you got?
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit in the green room, and I've played just about every series of games out there, a lot of them anyways. And I really can't, I was hoping maybe you guys in the chat would like refresh my memory on something that maybe I haven't played. But I've been playing games for a long time, and I've played most series, so I don't have one. So when it comes to my turn, I'm just going to mention series that I want you guys to try.
That's a good enough.
We've mentioned this a few times, many times on this show, and I know it's one of Nate's favorites now. Is the Seminole series. Oh. I would highly recommend that you look into those series. I've played that Normandy a bunch. I haven't played all of them, but I played a bunch of them. So I think they're fun and interesting. And if you don't like operational, like I'm not a big operational guy, but for me, the Seminole series are really good. So
really good.
It has, and yes, it's something I haven't really played. I've got a few of them. They're sitting there waiting to be played. One day, might get a chance at PunchCon, don't know. But yes, it's a highly regarded series. And even though I haven't played it, I've watched videos. I've tinkered about with the ones I've got. It does look good. So that's a good recommendation.
Oh, actually, somebody did just mention one, so I will have a series to talk about.
What are we talking about?
Go ahead, Ruff. Go ahead with your next one. When it gets back to me, I'll talk about it.
Okie dokie. What shall I do?
Yes, Camp. Sorry, definitely.
Yeah, they are. Yes, that's why I don't want that. I don't want a puzzle to try and work it out. I just want to,
Well, because that's kind of what the French campaign was.
Yeah, I know, but that is why I want to try it and see if it's just gamey. But
the French one is very good, very good.
Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, because in real life, the Germans struck right where the French were weakest, and they pressed hard and made it all the way to the Channel. So yeah,
So you're saying it's a puzzle, where you can try and defend. You know where they're going to attack, so you try and defend the best you can. Is that what you're saying?
Part of it, yeah.
Yes.
Part of it, yeah. Depending on which scenario you're playing too. So there's two different scenarios.
I'm looking forward to giving them a go. My other one I'm looking forward to giving a go is related to GTS. It's written by or designed by the same chap. Is CSS company
scale game series.
And the one I want to get is that Tweez. They are quite expensive, quite big games, but there's the one I can't remember the name of it. Tweez played it on his channel a while ago. It's a one mapper. and that's the one I'd like to try to see if it's any good. Whose name I can't remember. It's published by Compass, isn't it? The series CSS.
Yeah,
Compass,
Enemy at the Gates.
No, that's huge. That's like the floor. That is that's Tweez has got that.
Tinian.
Thank you, Tweez.
Tinian.
Yeah, Tinian. It's a one mapper, and it looks really cool because with the Japanese and all that. So looking forward to that. It looks very playable. It's a little bit, from what I hear from like Tweez and other people, compared to GTS, it's a little bit, am I using the right word, a little bit more gamey than GTS, but I quite like what I see, whereas GTS is a little bit more sort of fiddly.
Okay,
that's my next one. CSS, I'd love to have a go.
All right, Nate, what about you, Mike?
Mine is something related to the last series that I mentioned. I have one in this series, and I'm almost afraid. I'm almost afraid to play it, because if I play it and I like it, then I feel like it's almost a bill. Like I'm gonna go buy some more, So, and that is the Library of Napoleonic Battles.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. That's a bit above my pay grade, a bit above my intelligence. So we're okay with that one.
Bonaparte overruns Piedmont. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like this a lot, and but I haven't played it yet. I got it all punched, clipped, and sorted. Even got the I bought separately because it doesn't come with it. There's a universal card deck for each side, the coalition and the French side.
That's right. Yes.
It's a card assisted game, not a card driven game.
They're not essential, are they?
They're not essential, but what I've been told is that they're great to play with, that they're a great new addition to it that makes it more exciting to play. So I got those, and I'm kind of afraid to play because I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it and going to have to get some more. And yeah, so but I got this one to try out. So. Yeah, Paul, I'm doomed. Yes.
Oh, no, I'm just everybody's saying excellent series. Yeah, you're doomed. Yeah,
for sure.
They are pricey.
They are
very pricey. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've looked at those and another series that.
Again, it's Napoleonic. I've still got to be tweaked into it. But E4 Airmen, have you?
As a Brit, that's like. That's like a national thing.
I know. It's like World War One.
And it's beating the French. You love doing that.
Yes, we like to kick the French whenever we can. It's our destiny. But E4, have you voted in the Roberts Awards yet? Because
I have not.
Lots of ancients in that one. Again, 90% of the games I haven't even played, so it's a bit pointless. So there we go.
Yes, the maps are very good in that.
Yes. They should be for the price.
Right. Well, my next one is a series that I completely forgot about for two reasons. Number one, it's by Compass, and I'm not a big Compass guy.
You're not, are you?
Every game that I've bought by Compass hasn't been very good. But Ruff talks about this game like it's his grandchild or something.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
You know which one it is?
No, I know what you're gonna say.
And I haven't played this series.
And that is
expensive. I have never gotten it, but it plays great solo. It's tactical level and looks really good. It's of course the Combat series.
Oh, what can I say?
Yeah.
It is very expensive. It is just a solitaire game, and
there's now going to be like 5 in the series. I heard that.
Well, the next one we're waiting for is the Arnhem one. The Bridge Too Far thing. I think. So that will be cool. There is so much in the box, though. In the first one, there's a ton of stuff. In Volume 2, unfortunately, you do need Volume 1 because there's no cards in it or anything. But there is a shed load of stuff that will keep you busy for the rest of time if you just want to play.
There's a campaign in Volume 2.
Yes, you can do. And the role-playing elements are introduced as well. The third one is a standalone.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is your thing, you can get
That's why
that.
I'm kind of waiting. Maybe I'll wait and get that one and
get that one.
Give it a try.
Well, and then there's a Russian one coming, and then I believe there's a Pacific one coming as well.
Yeah, it's just incredible. That will be my Fields of Fire and Panzer and what's the other one? Yeah, Atlantic Chase. If that turns into a series, which it might,
it is
coming out.
There's a Pacific
and Combat are going to be my favorites. I think. It's just a shame that Combat is a solid.
I will just mention this. On Gene, when we had Gene on a couple weeks ago, and he had the Atlantic Chase Pacific, I took a screenshot of that when he was pointing at it. So we've got an early access to it.
World premiere.
I can if I blow it up really big, we can get the inside details.
Yeah, and I know it's not your favorite, but I can't wait for that. Can you, Nate, for that to come out?
That's the reason I took the screenshot. I was doing this,
and we're all like this. Really? Yeah.
Show me. And then, because then I heard like, there might be a Mediterranean one, and that's my favorite. And like,
absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, that's cool.
All right, so that was my next one. Is
rough,
one that I don't ever experience. So that's a little weird. I know.
Well, it is expensive. I know.
Oh no! Again, look what Mike said. Pacific Chase is.
It's going to bed. It's going to be in Ruff's bed.
No, I think they've put it to bed. No, that means it's finished. It's gonna be soon.
It's good. They're sending it to the printers.
Yeah. So it does look cool. A series I would love again just to have a go at to see what it is, and hopefully I hate it because my rabbit hole for American Civil War is Great Battles of the American Civil War. But I would love to have a go at Great Campaigns of the American Civil War, just to have a go. I'd say, it
kind of shocks me there.
It tweaks me because it's a completely different game from what I understand. Played completely different. Not a lot of battle-y stuff going on. It's more logistics from what I gather. Is that correct, Nate? Mm-hmm. And getting your men where you need to and without getting them fatigued and exhausted, ready for the battle. That sort of appeals to me, that side of it. I'm not sure if any other series uses those mechanics in a more modern.
It gives you an amazing look at the context for why the battles were where they were.
Right. Because I don't understand why they were. It's just a big field. I can understand like the English Civil War, why it was, and GBOH, why there were, big flat places, crunch, so I'd love to have a go at that. It's a bit of it goes on a bit, doesn't it? It's quite a long game.
It can be, depending on which one that you get and which scenario you play.
Yeah.
I would suggest, if you are interested in getting into GCACW, is to buy Hood Strikes North. It's a one map, one small box, and it covers the 1864 campaign into Tennessee, and it's very easy to pick up and play, and it's fun.
And they're all sort of separate. You don't need to have played one to have played another. They're all self-contained with the series, with the series rules the same, is it, for the whole series?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Just individual exclusive rules for each of the games.
Yeah, I know. Maybe if somebody is playing it at PunchCon, they go, "Hey, Ruff, come over here. Oh, you swine, come and have a go." Then I love it, and then I shake my fist at the person that taught me it and says, "Thanks a lot, mate." And then go over to Second Chance Games, see if they've got any. But it really, I know it sounds weird, and I said I never would, but the maps look so beautiful as well.
They are. They're great. I mean, even if you get, I will say this, that even if you somehow are able to find a cheap copy of some of the old Avalon Hill versions, when they were alive and printing them, it's still worth it.
Have they changed much since they went over to MMP?
It's yes and no. I mean, like, you get the bones of what the game is. Like, there have been tweaks here and there, but it's essentially the same game. Is my understanding, because I've only dabbled in it a little bit. I have not actually delved deep into it, like, say, Patrick from Patrick's Tactics.
Yes, that's one of his games he plays, isn't it? Oh dear.
Yeah, Nordic. I mean, yes, Nordic is correct. If you go to the Avalon Hill, print out the current rules, and you'll be fine.
I suppose you could, if you get a cheap copy, you can just print out the rules and play it. The counters haven't changed, I
exactly.
assume.
I mean, like I said, the rules have changed since then, but it's still the same game.
Right.
You can still play.
Just tweaked it over the years.
Yeah, it's gotten it's good.
But yeah, that's one.
There is a lot of dice rolling in it.
That's great.
Ooh.
Oh, we heard that.
Wow.
Wow. Oh dear.
Now I'm curious. I gotta go look.
So the question for me by Kevin. Thank you. That is a great question. I have not tried it, but again, we're only talking about a series that we would want to try. I don't have the desire to try this series because I am personal friends with Herman, and I don't like to play games from somebody I know. It's weird. I know I have a weird thing. Like I feel weird playing the game that's by somebody that I know.
That sounds weird, but I support your right to do that. So, yeah.
Same thing with Mike. I have a problem playing Wolfpack with Mike. I do it, but it's weird. I feel weird the whole time. I always feel like I can't say what I want to say. If
I get what you're saying.
Always like, oh, I wish I would. I wish this was simpler. I wish this was done this way, and I always feel weird because the designer is there. And the designer's a person. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just weird playing it with somebody that you know, because then they're going to be like, well, I noticed you talking about, why this unit does this. And, and I don't want it to turn into a thing,
You can't be yourself. You can't be as truthful as you'd like to be.
Correct. You can't be as truthful. I could tell Mike things about Wolfpack that he would not want to hear, but I choose not to.
Yeah, and there are many and varied things we would love to say about that game, Wolfpack. But we're just too kind,
We are. We're super kind. We're very nice.
But no, seriously, joking apart, I get what you're saying. Blind Swords. That's the as Mike was saying. That's the is that the Revolution series?
Correct.
I've got one of those. Great. I love the maps. Everybody goes, oh, they're too busy. But yeah.
They're Rick Barber and then Rick Barber type maps since his passing.
Yes. But even I think early ones in that series from Revolution had the Rick Barber maps, which were quite busy and quite hard to see what was going on, especially height changes. But the one I've got, Kernstown, is a bit better. He toned it down a bit.
Yeah.
Bit easier to see what was going on.
I have the first.
But that's where I got the word skedaddle from. Because they skedaddle in that one.
I have the first Bull Run game in that series. I would like to get into that series. Yeah, that's my first one. See, look what Mike said. You can tell him anything.
Oh, Mike is great, and he would love my feedback, but I would feel weird giving it to him, and I would feel weird about saying things, and because Mike's a close personal friend of mine,
well,
I couldn't say what I'd want to say. I'd have to, I'd have to.
No, I understand that. I mean, I remember when I was working on my master's thesis, and before I had submitted it, I gave it to a really good friend of mine, and I said, please nitpick this. Please be as critical as you can reading this, because I want to see what I did wrong in there. and he gave it back. There's a lot of stuff,
And
you know, and everything like that. But I wanted it. That's what it didn't upset me at all. Like, I want to know what that he thought was bad, because I needed that in order to improve. I mean, I remember once hearing a story from a friend who he was writing a paper for, I think it was his master's degree, and at the time, and he gave it to, he went and asked the professor, and gave it to the professor, and the professor looked through it and said, "Well, cut out half of it, and you're on a good start." It's like, wow. But it really helped him. So yeah. Anyway,
but I'm not just saying this because Mike's in the chat. But Wolfpack, yes, you can always make improvements, and it's like an artist, isn't it? You have to know when to step away from fiddling with it in case you overpaint it and ruin the thing. The things Wolfpack, I think, is on the Wolves thing anyway. So you haven't done too bad. So
cool.
Leave it as it is.
All right. Well, who's next?
You go ahead, Nate. Go ahead. No, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know it was my turn. So here, this is a series that I was interested in, and courtesy of Paul, who is watching, if he's still in the chat or not, that I am looking forward to the day when I can get into this series. That is the 1914 series.
Tweez is your man for that as well. Good grief!
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to get into this, because the 1914 campaign is so interesting, and so I'm excited to get to this some point here in the near future. So yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking about something in my head when you mentioned that, and now you got me thinking about that game instead, and so now I lost my train of thought.
Oh no!
What I was going to say is, I can't remember. But anyways, we'll move on.
It'll come back.
My next series of games is, I think, it's by GMT, and it's one of these series of games that. It's been out for a long time, but nobody played it because nobody knew how to play it because the rule book was so bad. They just re-released it now, and I think Ruff is going to really like this game. Fields of Fire. So I would recommend the Fields of Fire for you guys. I did a little tutorial series on it.
Yeah, you did.
And I learned so much by just going through that rule booklet. And I was like, why didn't they have this 10 years ago when the first game came out? It would have been so much easier. So, and I've learned a lot since then. And so I'm also a different gamer than I was 10 years ago. So I put a little bit more effort into it, like trying to learn a game now. So
I think because this new deluxe thing is down to a team and sort of headed by Andrew and Colin, who've taken it on as fans. They saw it was a great game, and the designer welcomed them with open arms to do it. And it's taken, as you know, since they were thinking about doing this, it's taken years again to get this out. And I'm glad they've taken the time. There's still some stuff that isn't, from my point of view, that isn't explained as well as it should be. But compared to the second edition, it's a few orders of magnitude better. And I was so impressed that, I do unboxings, but this was a deep dive. I don't call it a deep dive, I call it an overview. That I did a 40-minute unboxing and overview, because it was also because I was familiar with the game. I could explain the things that have changed for the better and talk about the tutorials and things like that. And I can't wait to play it. But if a subscriber asks me very nicely, please play this, I mean, we'll have to see. But it's definitely going to get on my table as soon as I can, because And I know Christoph has had it.
If you want to play it online, we can. They have a really good Vassal module.
So, I don't know.
Tabletop Simulator one.
Great. I like to play. I like to get the things out and look at that. You know what I'm like. I play Vassal because I have to. And I mean, Christoph said it. I think 5 weeks on the table. I think he said, and he's enjoying it. So to have a game on for 5 weeks, and be playing it, is I will play it. I will play it, Christoph. And I'll probably want to go through the tutorials, if not for my benefit, maybe for other people, like I did with Atlantic Chase, where I went through the tutorials. I'm quite looking forward to going through the tutorials, but not apart from the first one. I will be picking my own action cards rather than reading what it's got in the playbook. I'll be picking it, so I might not be as successful as they are in the playbook, which is always a good thing to see. Roughs, mistakes. But I'm looking forward to playing it, and then playing that game, Keep Up the Fire, and then there's so much in that box again, so much. And then you've got the expansion, the Bulge expansion, which has a little tweak to some of the rules. And then you've got the second volume, the Pacific one with the Marines. That's a great series. You don't have to sell that to me. I'd say get it. If you can get your head around using cards as a map, which takes very little time to get your head round. It's crunchy, but those tutorial books help tremendously. I can't sell it enough. It's another Atlantic Chase and Panzer.
All right.
Sorry about that, but I just love it. Just get a bit passionate.
I will answer. Robert asked earlier in the chat how many games are in the 1914 series. There's the Western campaign. There's technically 3 from GMT, but there is a 4th one, and they're all kind of in the same from the same designer. There's a Western Front one, then there's the Eastern Front one, and then there is a Serbia Front one, and then the 4th one is from Compass that appeared in a Paper Wars edition, the Galicia campaign. So yeah. Anyway, but I'm excited to get to that, and thanks very much to Paul for helping me get into that. So
it's a crunchy old game. That is. I
love the maps. The maps are great. Maps are great. Is it my turn or is it?
Thanks.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure, it's your turn.
If you want, I'll go around that way, and I'll do mine next. And just checking the chat.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, go ahead, Ruff. I preempted.
No, I'm just checking the chat. It's okay.
You two go. I'm gonna get somewhere to drink. We were out earlier doing a hike, and I think I got
go and hydrate. Go and hydrate.
I'm gonna just grab something to
okay.
aspirin and then some more drink.
Lock and load. Go and hydrate.
Lock and load.
I'll do one. Yes, a game I've played with Tony, but I've only just gone into the sort of scraping the surface of it. It's using the standard rules rather than the advanced rules, and I'd love to play it with all the naval stuff and the aircraft and the special forces and all that sort of thing. And it is the Next War series.
Ah, yes. I want to play that this year.
But I've played the standard version. Which one?
What'd you think?
I loved it. And
cool.
as a standard version, it's your typical war game, hex and counter war game.
Sure.
At the standard version. And they do have this little thing, I forget what it's called, where if you take over one of the hexes, you haven't taken over the hex quite yet because the locals, the insurgents, get their AK-47s and try and stop you and try and harass you, and do a bit of guerrilla work. So you've got to try and control that. It's a die roll, basically, but it's another little extra thing that's quite cute in it.
Cool.
But I want to play the air rules and the naval rules, the special services. Again, it's all very abstract. It happens in your mind where you send out your special forces to blow up airfields and all that sort of thing. So I'd love to Tweez is playing it. I'd love to have a real sort of full-on game of the Next War series. because there's a lot in here. Another crunchy old game from Mitch.
Yeah.
We must get back on the show.
Thanks, DJ, for that suggestion. I'll have to look at that series. Yeah, that seems cool, especially on the Italian front. There's not
a lot, is there? From what
not a lot on the Italian front. No, I remember seeing someone came up with almost a miniature scenario for the Caporetto campaign in the Great War in Europe from Ted Racer. I mean, that covers all Western Front, Italian Front, Eastern Front, like Near East, like the whole thing. And yet he made an actual little bitty scenario for just the Italian one. So, but yeah, not many games on it. So my next one, I definitely want to try the Next War series. It's on my list this year to play.
Also, what you need to do, the most recent one, in this case, it's Iran. As you say, Iran, as we say over here, I ran down the shops. That's right. It's Iran,
or Persia,
or Persia. The rules, they have standard rules, but you always use the one from the most recent game. They sort of all work, and I think you have to use some of the most recent player aids because they get tweaked all the time. But yeah, enjoy. No. Koyi, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. It's fair enough.
So my next one that I want to get into, thankfully, it is a series, but now it's all for right now. It's all in one box. It's from Compass. It is the Third World War series.
Oh, another small game.
Yes, Frank Chadwick. And Cold War Gone Hot in 1989. And so you can see from the box, Arctic Front, Battle for Germany, Southern Front, and Persian Gulf.
It's the reissue of all the separate games that came out in the 80s. Was
all
it the
together.
80s?
Yes. And great maps. Counters look great. It's all punched, clipped, sorted. Just have not played it yet. And I'm looking forward to it. Especially because, for me, little personal connection. Like my dad was in the military and was deployed into West Germany for a while, and so it's kind of neat that I can find the unit that he was attached with in here.
That's a great reason to play it. Have you seen the thing with all the maps out? I've seen a photo.
I did, yeah.
Oh, it's like a cricket pitch. Crazy.
Now, because the next one in this series is going to be the Far East. So they're China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan out there. And then I think there's a naval one coming, something like that. So,
yeah, I think Frank's expertise is in that area, isn't it?
That realm, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's working on that big European, the Thunder in the East.
Yeah.
They're doing the whole thing. And
oh my God,
they're gonna publish it as like one giant.
No, you need therapy, mate. You need therapy because you're gonna buy half a dozen ping pong tables and keep them in your lounge, and that's your game or your gaming room.
Yeah, you might as well do.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get it.
Get rid of all your other stuff in your house and just.
That's right.
The dog is tip tapping outside the door. I think he wants to go out. Carry on talking.
All right. Well, my next series of games is going to be The Hunters by GMT. Another really good series of games. I love this series, and I wish it would get played more. I don't see a lot of people playing it. I know there's a lot of people that have heard of it and like it, but I still think this is.
The Hunters, The Hunted.
The Hunters, The Hunted. There's the
Silent Victory,
in the Pacific,
right?
And there's one in the Mediterranean. Yeah. So I think there's,
And Beneath the Med, yes. The only one I haven't got is The Hunted. Because I'm no good at it anyway, and you get, 2 missions, you're dead. But somebody mentioned it in the chat.
It depends on how you're doing, yeah.
I actually remember back in the day when you two and Tony did a Hunters competition with one another.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Rough won, believe it or not.
Who?
Rough won.
Wow.
Even with my 1990 vertical thing that went wrong, it went wrong. I couldn't. I always remember.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Atlantic Sentinels. You can play it with it.
Yes,
that's right. I had thought about getting that, and I forgot. I'm gonna go look at that.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's one of my most watched videos. 20,000, something like that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and Panzer, another 20,000 views. Crazy that. But yeah, Hunters was very popular. When I did the. And of course, it's so narrative. I was talking about the mission. They got sent to Spain, in the Mediterranean. They said they're all sitting on the deck sunbathing. And then that mission, they got sunk. So it's very sad. But great fun.
Cool.
In a sort of game thing, not that they died. Even though they didn't really.
All right, that was mine.
Rough.
Another one I'd like to play that I haven't. There's so many here. I've mentioned the Dark Wars. We've got the GBO. I've written down OCS here, but I'm not sure I would like to play it. It seems a bit of an old school old man's game. If excuse, I'm not meaning to offend anybody, but I think it's showing its age a little bit. That system. Don't take any notes of me. It's just my opinion. All right. But another one, the Dark series is something I'd like to have a go at. Really good. I've only got the one at the moment, which I haven't had a go at yet, which is the Dark Summer.
Ruff, you and I need to do a playthrough on Vassal. It's an awesome game.
Okay. We'll do that in the future. Yeah, we'll come and do that and
I'll stream it.
And teach me, and it'd be great. Yeah,
and
because
I'll
you've got
keep certain rules out so that I win.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you'll do a tweet. I'll be blued, won't I? But yeah, you got the Dark Sand, which is the one I'm. Huh?
Jester, you've played the Dark series and the Dark Summer, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good game.
Yeah, I'd like to give that a go because the Dark Sands is the one I want. We talked to Gene about it. Re-release it with mounted bulger, please, like you have with the other two. So and the GMT do his very first Dark series, but it was called Operation something, but it is part of the Dark series, the French one.
It's called Case Yellow.
So yes, and that is an all but name, isn't it?
It's the progenitor of it.
Yeah,
and then there is a revolution from
North Africa 41 is the progenitor of the rest of the 40X games. There's no what do they call it? Zoc bombs in that one.
Yeah, the legend begins is from that. Yeah. Well, then in the Dark series, there's also there's the Deadly Woods from Revolution. Yes. That is Battle of the Bulge. That's the same series, just different name.
Yeah. So some good stuff there I'd like to try just because I haven't tried it. And that's why I've got that because the other ones have got the paper maps. And I know they're reprinting the Russian one, GMT. Yep. We just want him to reprint the Dark Sands because I do like me North Africa stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
I'm still not giving an opinion yet because I've not played it properly. So again, just fiddled about with it, but not played it. So that's another one I'd like to have a try at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is a series that I'm also a little afraid of getting into, but we'll see. When I picked this one up a couple of years ago, still haven't played it. Punched, clipped, and everything organized, just sitting on the shelf. It is the Standard Combat series.
Ah, yes, that's on my list.
I got the North Africa one. This one's a giant one. It's 4 maps.
Yes.
Thankfully, my table can fit it. But I would like to play the whole campaign if I could. There is I will say this on BGG, that there is an excellent full review of the game. Someone wrote it. If you go into the forum, someone wrote a big review of this and goes into quite a lot of detail. And it's really fascinating to kind of, I read that and I get interested again to want to pull this out. But I'd like to get into SES.
Again, 8 pages of rules.
Core.
Very easy.
Core.
And
core rules.
Sorry?
I think about
the core rules are 8 pages.
Yeah, the core rules are 8 pages.
And every box has got their own.
Yeah, there's more pages of that than there is core.
If you try playing Day of Days, good luck. It's not 8 pages.
Oh, right. Is that the one they said it shouldn't really be standard combat series? It's
almost, yeah.
Too big.
Like
I mean, the only one I've got,
a monster game of monster games,
is the precursor to your one.
Yes.
Great little game. Pick it up, a tenner. You can pick this up. 8 pages. Download the most recent rules from MMP.
I think your wife could just put a bunch of those bunch of those games in a box and just ship you out to the convention with them.
Could do, couldn't she? Yeah, but I'm glad it's only sort of Friday to Sunday. I'd like it to work because some of the ones you have over there, like a week at least, some of them are a week. I don't know if I'd survive a week. If you remember last year, I come back, I was shattered because it was just non-stop playing and the concentration and everything. Came back a little bit sort of brain dead, but really looking forward to it.
All right, Jester, what's yours?
I don't have any others.
Okay.
Is there any you'd like to recommend to people, like your coins or whatever?
Coin. I will say coin.
Because I know you're a big fan, yeah?
Big fan of coin. It's fun. It's interesting. There's lots of different ways to play it. Plays pretty decent, so depending on which version of the game you're using. But yeah, give it a try if you got a couple friends to hang out and play. You can play in 3 hours, and it's pretty interesting. Some pretty good decision making, and like I said, it does play solo acceptable. So try coin.
Well, to be fair, I do like the irregular. Well, one of the irregular. I don't care for much of the others, but the irregular conflict series, which was based on coin, which we played, was Vijayanagara. That one. Love the subject. Love the subject. Also love the British Way, which is like coin light, very small maps.
I would like to get that one.
What, British Way?
Yes. Yeah,
it is great. They're nice little small maps. And the other one, the proper coin one, I'm still waiting to play, is Red Dust Rebellion, of course, because it's Mars. And I tell you what, did I mention that the other week? No, I don't think I did. I've watched The Expanse again, the series The Expanse. And I said to Gaynor, come and watch this. She went, it's science fiction. Oh, no. Come and watch it. Third time I'm watching this. Come on. It must be good, she said. I said, it is. She was glued to it. She loved it because of it's all political as well. It's not just like Star Trek. It's all politics going on. It's really good. So I'm looking forward to doing Red Dust Rebellion for a coin game. Yeah.
We probably need to start winding things down here, fellas.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go. Well, again, 80 people. Weird. Well, nearly 80.
That's awesome.
Bit of an unusual subject. I know, there's lots of different opinions and whatever. I hope you found that interesting. Just to recap, we'll go and see what these two reprobates are doing for the next week. So, Jester, what are you up to?
A lot of decisions, a lot of thinking, a lot of trying to figure out what's going to happen. I'm still going through a funk and playing games, and we'll see how it goes from there. I'm not sure where it's going to lead me, but
that's fair enough. We all have those.
About, I used to be a digital gamer, and then I switched to the board games, and I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And now they're all just sitting here looking at me like, are you going to play me or what? And so I don't know. We'll see.
Well, at least you put some. At least you're streaming them you know, and I think video games are easier to stream anyway, aren't they? So you just click and go. So let's see a few of those. I must admit, though, the games you're playing don't, because they're like shoot me ups, aren't they? And things. It's set in fantasy lands, and
it's an action RPG.
That's the word. That's what they're called. Shoot me ups. Yeah. So shooting things.
It's like Diablo. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's great. You know,
we all go through periods where like there's been times where I didn't want to play any board games and I didn't pull any out.
I've had that as well. We all get, as you call them, funks. You know, all get. You know, we just want to change. Just want to stop for a while.
It's a part of life.
That's rather to keep your sanity. Just stop and do something you want to do for a while.
There is a suggestion though in here. Maybe you could play Grand Prix.
Play what?
Someone said more Grand Prix.
Grand Prix, yeah. Well, that's okay.
That's a suggestion someone put there.
Yeah. What about you, Nate? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, what you got going?
So when we get off here, I'm gonna keep going and setting up campaigns in Europe with the France 1940 scenario, and start playing through that. So
any unusual mechanics in that apart from a normal hex encounter game?
It is no, it's 16 pages of core rules, and then each of the scenarios have a little bit of rules tweaks here and there, but very easy to understand. And it is, you can either in the sequence of play, you can either move and then fight, or you can fight and then move. And then afterwards, there's a mechanized move and fight phase as well. So it puts into relatively easy to understand rules of the different doctrinal differences between the different nations in World War II. And I love the maps too, because the maps are redone of the old War in Europe maps. So yeah, so that's me.
That's
Ruff,
cool.
what about you?
That's cool. Well, of course, I've got to see. I might be doing something, you know, at the moment, because I've done part 5, Patrol 5 of Skies Above Britain, enjoyed it tremendously. Again, I've cleared it away because I'm off to Coventry Thursday to get settled in for Friday up at 9 to play.
But you're not going to be off to Coventry.
No, I'm not being sent. No,
to Coventry.
I'm traveling to Coventry. And then a lot of us now are going Thursday, so we can get settled in, ready to start 9 o'clock on the Friday in the morning after breakfast. And we have a good breakfast, sets you up for the rest of the day, and then off we go playing. So I've got a clear table for the moment. Actually, the game is tucked under here for the moment, so I cleared the table so the cat, in case he decides to get on the table, won't be anything on there. But it leaves it now for the few days for me to have a go at something, just for fun, just to play something.
Good, yeah, just play for fun, yeah.
Bit of Final Girl or something, or
doing Shadows of Brimstone.
Maybe the Hunters.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one, isn't it? The Shadows of Brimstone. That takes a lot of space. I love it. But Final Girl, yeah. And what's the other ones we've got? Might do a bit of Legendary Aliens. Who knows? Something nice and easy before I get my head bombarded with war games for 4 days. So that's my plan anyway.
Cool. Very cool.
So I will be hosting the show next week on my channel. Me and Nate's going to find us somebody to be a co-host, I think. Right, Nate?
If I can, I'll try.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If you send the link, I could try and pop in if I'm,
we'll send you the link. You can try to show up for a little while and say hi and show us the gaming hall and all that.
What's going on? Yeah, that'd be cool.
You can set up live interviews and everything. And
well, if there's anybody worth interviewing.
The little girl that plays with her.
Oh, well, yeah. I think she always looks a little frightened when I come along with my camera and I go, it's okay. You're doing great. Yeah, I hope she's there. Because she won't be so little, they get big all of a sudden, don't they? Every year. I wonder if they're going to be playing Paths of Glory. They always play Paths of Glory. Her and her dad playing Paths of Glory. It's great to see. So I'll try, if I can, if things are all working, I'll try and get round just to show you what people are playing and looking at the tables. That's always interesting. And annoying people when they're in the middle of their game. That's That's always a good thing to do. That's my plan. Anyway, guys, thank you so much in the chat for sticking up with us. Make sure you join ID Jester, Nate, and question mark. Ooh, interesting. I'll try and pop in just to say hi and let you know how it's going. And we'll be back to normal afterwards and let you know how I got on with it. So thanks once again.
Yeah, looking forward to the live show, man.
Well, be good if it works. You know, I know that Tweez will be doing there, so just make sure we don't do it the same as him because he gets the ump if I do that. So, you know, I have to make sure. But thank you, as always, you boys and girls in the chat. We love you, as always. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're going to PunchCon, come and say hello, and we'll see you. I'll see you in a couple. Well, I'll see you next week sometime, probably for a few minutes. But anyway, over at Jester's, have great fun. We'll see you then.
Bye, everybody.
And I'll make sure I end the stream this time.
Take care.
Yeah. See you later, guys.